Chapter 16, Pizzeria. Holly and Laura get into their car and follow Ethan to the pizzeria. The guys find a booth for the four of them to sit in while the ladies use the restroom. When the ladies return, Laura sits next to Teddy and Holly next to Ethan. The waitress brings over glasses of water and some menus. The foursome decides on large and medium pizzas. "Was the visit useful, Holly?" asks Laura. "Yes, I got a lot of good information," replies Holly. "You guys walked in at the right time. Gramps and Holly were about to get into it," laughs Teddy. "Really? I think your grandfather is harmless. He has strong opinions and he likes to express them. He was more on your case than mine. Didn't he say, 'You're just like your father'?" imitates Holly. "But I have to say, as far as looks, you are the splitting image of your mother." "Yes, you are," agrees Laura. "Good. I love my mama, and I'm nothing like my father. Donnie's a bum." "He's done nothing for me my whole life," responds Teddy, slightly irritated. "Do you ever see your dad?" inquires Laura. "Let's see. I remember," pointing to Ethan. "We were downtown, I think, a few years ago." "With your father, Ethan." Ethan looks up surprised. "And Donnie asked your father to see if he could get me a job." "That's right. That's how I got the caddy job over at the golf course." "Really?" Ethan looks completely surprised. He didn't know if his friend was lying or not. "My dad knows your father? How?" "I think your dad did some pro bono dental work or had a mobile dental clinic or something in the area. Donnie went in and got some dental work done. He was a patient, I guess. It was some type of chance meeting," explains Teddy. "Anyway, he did help me get a job. I guess that is one good thing about that alcoholic, cheating father." "I'm trying to figure out why my dad never mentioned he met your dad," interjects Ethan. "Probably because Donnie isn't worth mentioning." "Wow, you really don't like your father," states Holly. "No, I really don't." Holly looks in her crossbody handbag and pulls out 4 pens. Next, she grabs some napkins and puts them in front of each of them. Everyone is wondering what she is doing. "Okay, I want to do a little test," begins Holly. "A test? I'm not taking any tests," complains Ethan. "Just listen for a minute. I'm going to say a description, and I want you to write down the first ethnic group or race and maybe gender that comes to mind. Please be honest, and no one take offense. This is for research, okay?" Holly looks at each of them and gets confirmation they are on board, and then she begins. "Smart people, athletic people, rich people, criminals, business people, alcoholics, drug dealers, attractive people, people who like rap music, terrorists, people who hate rap music, loud people, nice people, people on welfare, mean people, religious people, friendly people." Each finishes writing their answer as the waitress brings over the pizzas along with their drinks. One pizza is covered with veggies and the other is meat lovers. Both pizzas are loaded with a ton of cheese. The guys like the amount of cheese, but the ladies don't. "Okay, can I have your napkins with your answers before they get messed up with grease and oil from this pizza?" asks Holly. "Are you going to go over them now?" asks Ethan. "I don't have to," says Holly, looking at Ethan's face. She figures it may be inappropriate to discuss the results. Each of them pass her their napkins. She places them in her handbag. What do you think? Will people feel comfortable taking this type of survey? Maybe. I guess so, answers Ethan. Yes, if you say it's for research and explain what you're doing, says Laura. We should make it anonymous. I think we will get truthful answers that way, states Teddy. Okay, one last question. Do you think your answers are based on personal experience or media perceptions? I don't know. Maybe both, says Laura. Looking pensive, Ethan responds, I would say media perception, because unfortunately, most of the negative description I associate it with the black race. But in my reality, I don't personally know any criminals. The family members I know are black and pretty well off. Lawyers, bankers, engineers, and my parents are very altruistic. Yet in college, the people I party with, drink excessively, and do drugs are mainly white. Not many of them are extremely wealthy. No offense, Teddy. None taken. I am by no means extremely wealthy, laughs Teddy. Interesting, very interesting. Thanks, Ethan, for your honesty, comments Holly. Thank you all. This will really help with our research project. As they eat their pizza, there is silence. When the conversation does begin, it moves to when Teddy will come to visit Holly at her house for his experience in her household. Sunday is deemed to be the best scenario, since Ethan and Teddy can stop by on their way back to school. Holly tries to scrape off some of the cheese with her fork and knife. After one slice of pizza, she is done. Laura manages 1.5 slices, while the guys are chowing down with no problem. After a few minutes, Holly checks her cell phone for the time. She tells Laura they need to get back on the road soon. The ladies put in their portion of the check and tip on the table. They make another trip to the ladies' room and then get on the road. As they drive along the way, Laura keeps looking at Holly. Holly continues to focus on the road. Laura lowers her window down a little, since it is rather cold outside. Finally, she just blurts out to Holly she isn't feeling well. Holly pulls over to the side of the road. Laura gets out and immediately vomits. Holly walks around and hands her some napkins she took from the pizzeria. They stand outside for a bit to ensure Laura is done throwing up. After a few minutes, Laura looks a lot better. It's cold and it's getting late, so the pair get back into the car and on their way. Were you surprised at where Teddy lives? Asked Laura. Yes, I told him. His style of dress and his knowledge of golf gave a different impression, didn't it? Replies Holly. For real. That was not such a big deal to me. What gets me is Teddy is exactly like his father, Donnie. All the drinking and womanizing. He says he hates his father. Does that mean he hates himself? I don't think so. He seems to love himself a lot to me, in my opinion. True. In chapter 16, Holly has a list of different types of people. In the comments below, share whether you form opinions about people based on personal experience or media perception. See you in chapter 17.